All right. Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get our webinar started today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We're thrilled to have the conversation. AMC is one of the most valuable events on my calendar each year, and new faces at the conference just continue to make it a better experience. So we're excited that you're here. We thank you for joining the conversation today, and we hope you get a lot out of it. So let's look at our agenda. Our goal today is to give you some insights to help you make the most of your experience and answer any type of questions you might have. So I'm going to start by giving you an overview on what to expect. Then you'll hear from a couple other longtime AMC attendees with their tips for planning, networking, and attending the conference. And then we'll review the AMC app. This app is a game changer for maximizing your connections and staying on top of everything that's going on at the conference. At the end, we've left plenty of time for any and all additional questions that you may have. So don't hesitate to ask us whatever you want at the end. That's the whole point of this conversation. Who do we have presenting with us today? So my name is Katie Cantrell. I'm the meat director at Heinen's Grocery Store and a member of the AMC Planning Committee. We're also joined today by the wonderful and humorous David Hess from Harris Teeter and the intelligent and charming Elizabeth Urisic-Friedman from Urisic Label. David and Elizabeth are our AMC co-chairs, so you're going to see them throughout the conference. And I think I can speak for them, for myself, and for the rest of the planning committee when I tell you that we are happy to help with anything that you need throughout the whole conference. So don't hesitate to reach out before, during, or after the conference. We're also joined today by our app expert, Daniel Caravetti from SwapCard. So I want to give you a brief overview of the event. Couple things that stand out that you're going to experience when you're there. There's lots of networking. The attendance continues to grow at this conference, and networking is reported as one of the main drivers for people attending. Unlike some other events that you may attend throughout the year, almost everyone in this conference is part of the industry, and every conversation you have really holds the potential for a lot of value. So the attendee list is easily accessible online. I encourage you to review it before attending so that you can make sure to connect with everyone that you want to. There's going to be some big crowds. This year marks the 20th anniversary of The Power of Meat. The Power of Meat is a report which delivers insights from extensive research into consumer behavior. Expect big crowds at this session. It really is a can't miss part of the conference. The learning continues throughout the entire conference. You'll get insights from sessions, and these really level up your conversations throughout the week and spark inspiration that you can take home with you. There's live demonstrations with hands-on experience. So you can hands-on experience with products and technologies. There's interactive displays. You're going to get to explore cutting-edge innovations. So really, I would say plan to take time to submerge yourself in the entire conference. The beauty of this event, it's not just the expo hall. It's not any one session or the networking at the welcome reception and in the hallways. It's really the culmination of the takeaways from everything, and it's going to be a great week. So I'll turn it over to David for some more information about the event and for some ideas on making your plan.
Well, thank you for that awesome introduction, Katie. I really appreciate that. All right, so what to expect? Networking, learning, product innovations, oh my, all of this stuff that you see here pictured and everything that Katie has talked about is completely accurate. This is by far my favorite event all year long that I get to attend. And I'm not getting paid to say that just because I'm on the committee. This event is fantastic. It is right from the get-go to the end of the day, it is jam-packed with fun activities, learning, the amount of people that you're going to be able to network with, talk with, folks you haven't seen in a long time. They're all going to be in one place. And meat folks don't get to go out, get out too often and do things like this. So you can just imagine the excitement that's going to be in the room and all the rooms when you're there. So really make your plan. When you've got 1 week left. So make your plan as you start to approach this conference. And so I'm going to talk about in the next 2 slides that I have for you, just some things that will help you kind of guide your plan there. So what should you pack? I've never really had to offer these tips to anybody before. So this is unique for me because normally I'm told what to pack. Um, Business casual, that's what the attire is. I wouldn't recommend costumes, but you do you if that's what you want to do. But bring clothing layers. When you go to these things, you could potentially have temperature differences from one session to another. And I think we've all been to something, a meeting, a presentation where you're either freezing or you're dying from overheating or somewhere in the middle, and that becomes pretty miserable. So try to have layers and accommodate that. I know it is Florida, but things could be windy, it could be rainy, things like that. Comfortable shoes. It's a big hotel, and like I mentioned, we have lots of activities. You're going to be hustling from one end to the other and hitting your sessions, talking with folks and everything. So please be comfortable. Swimsuit. This is not for any particular session. This is we are in Florida. You don't get to do this too often, but you might be good weather. You can take a dip in the pool or the jacuzzi if you choose. Business cards. This is a good one. I'm typically the one that forgets my business cards. So bring yours, or if you have another easy way to share your contact info, because you are going to meet a lot of people. And then portable phone charger. So stay powered up through the day. This is important. As you're communicating, when you're using the app, which we'll talk about, you're going to want to use the app. You're going to be on your phone a good bit, especially if you're taking notes on there. So want to make sure that you have a full battery charge there. And then if you want to go to the next slide here. All right, so 5 practical tips. Creating a plan is important, and that's just not something that I'm saying, just to say it. It's very important to do a little prep work here and kind of lay out your plan of attack here. So you're going to have a lot of sessions to go to, general sessions, breakout sessions, networking. You got the expo. You have a lot of different things that you can do. And so the app that you're going to see today, I can speak from experience. This app is fantastic. It's easy to use. It's not buggy, and it will make your life a lot easier. So over the next week, take your time, get signed up for the app, and you can go in there and you can actually lay out your whole agenda. This becomes very beneficial if you're traveling with a team. You individually might not be able to make it to every session that you want to, but you can divide and conquer, and you can do that all ahead of time. And I'm telling you, it will make your life a lot easier. Get out of your comfort zone. So just by that, I mean, get out there. You'll see in between sessions, there's lots of groups congregating. Now's your opportunity to meet other folks in the industry. Track down people if you need to, but get out of your comfort zone. Go talk with people and network, and then manage your time well. So this kind of goes with pacing yourself. And I know that seems like a silly thing to say, but you're going to be very, very busy. There are things going on all day long. You don't want to be the one that falls asleep in an afternoon session because you didn't pace yourself too well. And then if you're meeting with folks for dinners and things like that, you could just imagine you've got 2 to 3 very long days. But we believe that the sessions are going to be exciting enough where we will help to keep you awake. So, but just kind of pace yourself, and that goes with the planning there. So, like I said, you're going to have a blast with this, and I'm going to pass this over to Elizabeth right now.
Thank you so much, David. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to connect with you all and talk through how to make the most of your time at this year's Meet Conference. We're going to focus on what I believe is one of the most exciting and definitely the tastiest part of AMC, the exhibit hall. With only 4.5 hours to walk the hall, there's a lot to see, do, and taste, so a little preparation goes a long way. We'll talk through navigating the exhibit hall as well as what to expect from the exhibitors themselves and general tips about the experience. When it comes to the venue map, starting with navigating that exhibit hall, the AMC Conference app has that venue map that you can actually virtually walk through. It's highly beneficial to have this interactive tool in your pocket on the floor, But as you've heard ad nauseum, take your time to plan your route in advance, and that can allow for even greater execution. Maybe you'd like to walk in booth order, visit every single exhibitor, or maybe there's a few key customers or prospects that you'd like to prioritize. Either way, using this tool will help you make the most of your time. And after I'm done talking through the expo hall, Daniel is going to take you through the app in more detail. Moving on to attire, I know David said he wasn't necessarily comfortable, but I'm happy to give you some tips here as well. If you've been to a trade show before, then you know there is a ton of walking involved. So definitely dress comfortably. Like David said, we all know that there are meeting rooms that are always very cold, and we'll actually be doing a carcass fabrication on the last day of the show. That will absolutely be a room that's on the colder side. So be sure to bring your jackets. If you're a fan of heels like myself, a boot or a thicker heel are a great way to maintain your stamina and your style throughout the show. For men, I've seen a number of sharp-looking business casual sneakers on the floor in past years. Ultimately, it's up to you what you decide to do, but you'll thank yourself later for thinking comfortably. Moving on to product sampling in exhibits. Get ready because you're going to try a lot of new things. There are a wide variety of offerings. There's plenty to taste, and the tasting provides a wonderful opportunity to engage with exhibitors themselves, as well as other show attendees. You'll have 2 tasting opportunities in the exhibit hall on Tuesday and also at the welcome reception on Monday evening. Live demonstrations are a great way to see products in action. Last year, the booth next to ours was doing a live demonstration of their safety equipment throughout the show. It was really cool to watch and experience, and they're definitely attracted a few people to the booth. There's always a new and interesting innovation to be found if you're looking in the right place. We all know that there's a certain magic that happens at trade shows, and that's because you're getting the chance to connect with people in the industry in person. Whether it's suppliers, distributors, industry peers, retailers, this is a great chance to network as everyone in the room has one thing in common, and that's meat. I always find that if there are particular connections that you're looking to make, doing a bit of homework in advance on the contact, their company, and preparing a couple of questions help to lessen any show day nerves. And with interactive displays, they're often pretty common as exhibitors are looking to draw your attention to their booth. Expect to see some of the latest innovations in action, and if you're able to, join in on the fun. Finally, some tips for navigating the expo floor. One of the general themes that we've all talked about is making that plan. This show only comes once a year and it goes by in a flash. So take the time to envision what a successful show is going to look like, not only for you, but for what your company's expectations are. So the excitement doesn't overwhelm the execution. And to that point, be strategic. What is your purpose of attending the show? Are you there to find an innovative new flavor? Are you looking to identify new prospects for business growth or to strengthen your support of existing customers? The hall is big, time flies, so make sure you're prioritizing what's important for you and your role. And finally, we've talked about pacing yourself with the show and your time, but be sure to pace yourself on samples too. It's easy to get carried away when we're sampling, but trust me, there is a lot of protein to be had. There will also be a lunch that's served on the show floor, so take your time and remember that there's meat around almost every corner. AMC is all about exploring, learning, and making great connections, and we're really excited to welcome all of our first timers, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the show floor. And with that, I'll hand it off to Daniel.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Elizabeth. So I will start by sharing my screen because I want to provide like an overview of the app. Basically, once you open the landing page of the app, it will redirect you to the App Store or to the Google Store, depending on the device that you are using. We are gonna show up the QR code that you can be going to the landing page after this small overview of the app. Once you download the app and open it, you will see this view over here where you can log in with your account. It's really important for you to use the same email that you registered with, okay? because this is what you will allow you to log in on the app. Once you insert the email here, you will be able to set up a password or insert the password that if you already used the AMC app on the past, or you can also email you a one-time code to log in. Okay. Once logged in, this is what you will see. Okay, this is the view of the. Let me remove this. Okay, this is the view of the app. So on the bottom part here, you will see like a menu where you can navigate between homepage, messages, notifications, and your personal profile. I'll start by the personal profile. Here's like a view where you can change the settings or anything that is more personal you can change here, including your profile. So the data and the information that you registered with will probably be displayed here, but in case you need to change anything, you can go ahead here and change it. Okay. Then we have the notifications where you will be receiving all the notifications about the show. For example, if you bookmarked a session and it's already time to move and attend this session, you will receive 10 minutes earlier. You'll receive a notification about that. Here's the messages section where you will be able to chat with other attendees that you will be connecting through the app. And then you have the homepage of the app. I will quickly show up each one of the pages here. You have the My Agenda page, which will display all the sessions or contacts that you have made in the show. So for example, if you go to the main agenda here and you bookmark any of these sessions, you will see that it will start showing up under your agenda, your own like personal agenda. So it's really important to use this feature, which as David and Elizabeth told earlier, this will allow you to personalize your show, okay? Then you'll see that you can also connect with other attendees. So in terms of networking, that is also something that was raised by the other presenters. You can also use the app to network. So here you can see other attendees and you can connect with them and even message them. Then you can see like a feed channel here where you will be able to post and see other like other users or even like just the AMC account posting things about the show. Here you can see all the speakers, okay, of the show. Here you will see, you'll be able to open the exhibitor hall, okay, by clicking on exhibitor hall here. You will be also, let me close this one, sorry. Then you have the exhibitor and sponsor page where you will be also able to bookmark the exhibitors that you like it most. So you can plan your agenda, but you can also plan your exhibitor hall experience, okay? And then we have other informations here you'll see and you'll be able to use the app earlier, but these are the most important things on the app, okay? I'm happy to respond to questions on our Q&A part of the session if you have, okay? Then let's go to our slide. Back to our deck, okay? So as I was saying, it's really important for you to download the app. I will stay on this like deck here for some seconds so you can go ahead, scan this QR code on the right side, and this will take you to our landing page where you will be able to download the AMC app, okay? But yeah, it's important to make sure you have the latest version of the app, and yeah, feel free to ask questions on our Q&A session, and yeah, enjoy it. I'll pass the mic back to David, and I hope you enjoy the show and also enjoy the app. Thank you all.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's me again. So one last slide before we get to the Q&A. And remember, we can answer these live if you guys want to put those in, and we'll answer whatever we can here. But a couple important things to talk about before we get to there is safety and security. As we mentioned, there's going to be a lot of people there. So when you get there, going to want to pick up all your badges individually in person with a valid photo ID. So remember to have your ID with you when you go to grab your badge. Knock that out first thing. So as you're walking around, you've got that in place and there's no issues there. And so badges are required for access for all the events. And then stay alert. Stay aware of your surroundings. Don't leave your items unattended. And I know some of this sounds pretty standard, but it's important that we let you all know this and remind you of this, especially being the first time here. You will see that there's a lot of people and a lot of moving parts here. So when you leave, if you go out in the evening or you leave the hotel, leave your conference badge, and then also try to stay with a group, have a buddy system, just keep your personal safety at top of mind at all times. In case of emergency, know where the exits are at all times. Inside the Marriott, follow all overhead safety announcements. So hopefully we'll never have to worry about that at all, but wanted to just state those before we move on to the Q&A session here. So I do have one question that somebody asked as we move into this section here. So are there any education sessions we should make sure not to miss? I think that is a fantastic question. I personally like the carcass session. I think that's something new. I think this is the second time that we've done it. That is a fantastic session, very interactive, and for a lot of people in the industry, it gives you access and a viewpoint that you might not get. And so it was met with a lot of positivity. That would be my personal favorite. Anybody else is on the panel is able to, kind of chime in with theirs.
Yeah, thanks, David. I'll add to that this year we're celebrating 20 years of the Power of Meat. It's the 20th anniversary that we'll be presenting that education session on the main stage. And we always find that is a wonderfully attended session led by Anne-Marie Roerink of 210 Analytics. Ton of value that you can gain from that. Consumer sentiment, research into what is going on in the industry, future trends. So if I had to pick one, that would probably be my top pick.
I'll weigh in. I think those are great call outs. I'm really excited for the Meet the Future session. We have a group of executives from the industry coming together. I think it's going to be a great back and forth talking about the balance between customer facing retail and the entire supply chain of the industry. So that should be a good conversation.
All right. One of the points that I forgot to mention is that this session obviously is being recorded, and this is going to be sent out to you all and all the participants so that you can refer back to it, and hopefully that'll answer any questions that you have if you forget that or forget any of that. And so one of the questions is, what is a good arrival time for registration and how will parking be handled? I personally like to arrive early as possible. I don't have the details on parking because I'm going to be wondering that myself. So if anybody else on the call has those details, I want to know that as well. But I'm hoping that from what I've heard of this particular hotel is that they are very accustomed to handling events like this, and they are very good in keeping this as streamlined as possible. So I would get there as early as possible. Just for the sheer fact you get checked in early, and the worst that's going to happen is you get to network a little bit more and be around some more folks.
Yeah, I would just add one additional note for registration. I think it's always a best practice to go down to the registration as soon as you can, even if it's the day prior to the show starting. I don't have the details in front of me right now. I'm sure they'll be provided as well to everyone in advance, but getting your badge early is always a great call. Like David said, it can also be another opportunity for networking. You never know who you're going to see down when you grab your badge. So always trying to kind of avoid the last minute right before the show opens. That is definitely when you're going to see more of the volume going down to get your badge.
All right, we have one more. Do you have to sign up for any of the sessions or just show up? That's a great question. You just have to show up, and it's as easy as that. So no extra effort, and that's where it's good if you're traveling with a group by chance. You don't have to worry about if plans change with your group and you have to shift. You don't have to worry about signing up or altering a link or anything like that. You just show up and sit and enjoy. It's that easy.
You know, I'd love to jump on there, David, and say you had mentioned traveling with a group. One of the things I love to do when we bring a whole group of our teammates to the show is kind of maybe on the flight down there or as we're getting a meal together, we talk about what everyone is doing for each given day and we split ourselves up. And then when we come back together, we can share what we saw at each of those different sessions. So if you're traveling with a group, try to diversify where you go.
If I can add one more thing, like regarding the app, is that whenever you bookmark a session in the app, it doesn't mean that you are signing up for that session. So if you're not signed up for some session on the app, for example, you can still attend that session. That is just like a feature for you to organize yourself and your team in order to attend the sessions that you like it most.
All right, you all, if you take a minute and refer to the chat, you will see that Carol's put out the registration hours. I know there was a question about that. You can see the registration hours for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in there. And also a little bit information about the Marriott itself and parking there. So I knew somebody would have the details, and I'm glad glad you guys weren't all waiting on me for that. And then another point is if I remember correctly, unless something changed this year, the presentations that occur in these sessions, they are available after the conference, and they're usually accessible right within the app. Like I said, I can't exactly remember, but I'm pretty sure they're accessible right via the app, and then you can access them and then do what you want to do with them. But that's been a nice feature in years past of being able to have that and to be able to reference, go back and share with your teams. So I just wanted to make sure that I pointed that out. And then registration itself, that question just popped up. And so registration itself is in the Cypress Rotunda. So I know someone was asking exactly where it was in the on the campus there.
And just to build on that quickly, David, you can find where every session is located within the app. If you just go to the agenda, even the registration is listed in there for 9 a.m. on Monday, and you'll see almost what's like a little location icon. That's going to indicate where every session is held.
Yeah, one more point on that too is as you're walking around, if you're anything like me, you're extremely directionally challenged, and you need a lot of help. So I am not afraid of asking people for help. You will see folks going around with specific committee badges. If you see somebody like that, you have a question about where to go or just anything in general, please stop any committee member. They're going to be more than happy to help you out. If they don't know the answer, they will help you track that down. But they are a good resource. And just in general, I mean, meet folks are, just happy people in general. So just don't be afraid to stop somebody if you're not sure, rather than kind of going at a big conference blindly. Just stop somebody and ask questions. And that's always been my experience, because I've always just reached out and asked the closest person, and I usually get to where I need to get to on time. So just want to make sure I point that piece out. All right, I think we're at a spot where I don't see any other questions coming in here. So I think we can go ahead and wrap this up. And I really want to thank you for everybody involved for attending this. And really, I believe that you are going to enjoy your time. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to attend this ahead of the conference. But I think you're going to find when it's all said and done that this will be one of your favorite conferences that you've attended, because I'm very excited with the content, and it's just a really good time from start to finish. So thank you all very much. And this recording will be sent out to everybody very soon. So thank you very much.